Ha So, tomorrow is Halloween. If you celebrate Halloween, you like having fun on Halloween, that's completely cool. Have your fun. Just stay safe. A lot of things have been going on. Wouldn't want anybody to, get hurt during that day. However, scary stories and just scary, spooky things have been a theme for I don't know how long during the month of Halloween. And personally, I like the stories. Not as much going out and doing things. I don't really like mazes. Why would I put myself in that position? Come on, let's be real. Why would you put yourself in the position to get scared? Like, you dead ass have to walk and just be like, oof, I know people are gonna jump out at me. Like, I don't get that adrenaline. I rather go like, on I don't do much. I don't go outside. There's not much that I do. I rather do other things. I don't really like mazes, but scary stories I do like. So that's what we're going to be doing today.
Spooky, scary skeletons and shivers down your spine. Shrieking skulls will shock your soul, seal your doom tonight.
Get off of me. That hurt a lot more than it needs to. You're going to... The speed, the precision, the will to live. This is very bright for a spooky. Damn. You know what's really spooky? My hair. This is tough. If I haven't already explained what we're going to be doing, we're going to be on Reddit. Scary stories on Reddit. Recent true highway story. We're just going to go top from all time. This is my first experience with Reddit, so don't judge me too harshly. Also, people are active at all times during the day, so if you hear any background noise, I apologize. Oh, this is a lot of reading. Okay. I mean, I knew what I was getting into, but here's hoping. This is scary stories, okay? Scary stories on Reddit. We're going to go ahead and get started. I'm a 32-year-old female. Very odd way to start. At least for me, hearing it, don't worry. I'm a 32-year-old female, and this is something that happened to me only 2 nights ago. My husband kept... All right. I'm not gonna separate too much from the topic, but Kevin, spelled like that, not the wave. Just not. My husband Kevin and I were on the porch smoking a cigarette. It was about 9 o'clock at night. We live far out in the woods, right off of a stretch of a highway that's between 2 interstate exits. We were looking up at the stars, enjoying the quiet atmosphere. You know what? A quiet atmosphere sounds very nice right now, with these loud-ass brakes. I'm gonna just restart. I'm a 32-year-old female, and this is something that happened to me only 2 nights ago. My husband Kevin and I were on a porch smoking a cigarette. It was about 9 o'clock at night. We live far out the woods. Okay, there's gonna be grammar errors. Right off of a stretch of the highway that's between 2 interstate exits. We were looking up at the stairs, enjoying the quiet atmosphere of the crickets. Glad to have temporary relief from the usual traffic noise. I heard something and shushed my husband. Even though he hadn't said anything, was that screaming? Yes. It was a woman screaming like nothing I ever heard before. It sounded like she was getting murdered. In between blood-chilling screams, she was screaming out, "Help me, help me." I looked at my cousin. We were both really... My cousin. I can't read. I looked at my husband. We were both really freaked out. The more she screamed, the closer she was getting to the house. Okay, that's already spoopy. I could eventually see a figure running along the median of the highway, making their way closer to part of the highway that was in front of the house. Our house is a good ways from our... Wait, what? Our house is a good ways back from our driveway, but not far enough so that you can't see anything. If we could see her, that meant she could see us. We have no yard security lights. Stupid, I know. So we were in complete darkness. What are yard security lights? I don't... We could still see the highway perfectly fine due to the house across from us who still had their Christmas lights up. Okay, alright. I threw my cig in the backyard and backed up to stand in the doorway of the house, pulling out my phone to call 911. She is still in the median of the road, screaming. If anyone else in the surrounding houses heard her, they pretended like they didn't. Kevin runs past me to get inside, to get on his jacket and shoes. I tell him not to go out there, but he ignores me and gets dressed anyway. As soon as he is out of sight, I see a red car barrel up the road and pull over next to where the lady was at. With her in the median, there was still a stretch of highway between them. There was a man driving. I couldn't see what he looked like, I only heard his voice. He was yelling that he was going to kill her and calling her a bitch. It looked like he was throwing stuff out the window, maybe clothes. As soon as she sees him pull over, she starts running straight towards our yard. By that time, I was already on the phone with police officers, but I said I lived out in the woods, pretty far out of town, I'll add, so it would take them a bit to get there. That's always the worst thing. That's legitimate. Like, you need help, but you're so far out. Like, yeah, suburban life. Wait, no, what? Yeah, life in the countryside might be cool. You see the stars, not much traffic, not much people. But when you need help, does not sound like the way. This is a horror movie. That's all I'm gonna say. We're gonna go ahead and go down. I yell for my husband. I tell my 9-year-old son to get in our room where the baby is and close the door. He can hear the whole thing and was pretty frightened. My husband runs out to the porch into the yard towards her. He asks if she's okay, and she says that she had gotten a ride home from this guy, and halfway down the road he started acting really creepy. He refused to let her out where she told him and kept driving with her in the car. She looked behind her seat, pretending to look at a car behind them, and saw a roll of duct tape. Fearing for her life, she jumped out of the car and just started running down the road, screaming for help. Kevin starts to lead her towards the house, and by now is also on the phone calling the police. He gathered more information that I wasn't able to give them when I had called. They told him to stay on the line with them until an officer showed up. He lets her in the house, and her face looked terrible. She is red and bleeding in a couple of spots, road rash from when she jumped out of the car, or when she jumped out. She also said that he had hit her before she was able to escape. She came in and we locked our door. We'd locked our doorknob, deadbolt and chain. Or knob, deadbolt and chain. We stood together near the window, waiting for the police to show up. Kevin giving updates and answering questions on the phone. No, they haven't gotten here yet. Yes, his car is still parked across the highway. It's a red sedan in front of a house with a lots of blue porch Christmas lights, he told them. I was trying not to lose my shit when there was a loud bang on our door. The man was yelling, "I know you're in there. I saw you running. The people in there can't protect you." I shouted through the door that he needed to leave our property, and if he was smart, get in the car and drive off. I told him we were on the phone, police. The answer he gave me was the worst one I could ever hear. He said, "Go ahead, call the police. I don't care. They won't be here in time." Bang, bang, bang on the door over and over. This woman was freaking out and crying, saying, "Help me, please help me," over and over again. I ran to the kitchen to get a large knife just in case. We had a huge solid iron door, but our windows were easily breakable. If he wanted to get in badly enough, he certainly could. That's mad scary. My husband just came from our bedroom with his gun when a squad car pulled up in the yard, 2 more following behind it, and 1 across the street where his car was. He took off on foot, running. They tended to the woman and got her home safely. Turns out she lives across the highway from us, 5 houses to the left. It had been 2 hours later, and they still hadn't found him. There are a lot of places to hide in these woods. I just hope he hides far away from here. Yo. Okay, now not only was that tough to get through reading, I think the scariest part of that is that that's a legitimate thing. Like, things like this legitimately happen. This is, by all means, a 100% real occasion that could very well happen. I was looking for more. There was a knock on the door. I opened it. There wasn't anyone there. Not some real life situations. That's actually, that's kind of different. Let me go and look for another one. I am dead. Okay, hold on. I have to read down. I wasn't gonna go in order, although I mean they're the top. Okay, not bad. It's a pretty short story. All right, the story I'm about to tell is one I can barely believe myself. It all happened a few years ago, but I must reassure you, this is a true story. It happened when I was on a field trip to college with my high school science class. What? Oh, to a college with my... Okay. I never really had fit in with most people on the ride there, so no one really wanted to sit with me. I got stuck with this nerdy kid named Daniel, who kept on flinching when I moved. Okay, alright, we're just gonna keep going. Eventually they calmed down and kept staring at their phone. I guess that was everybody else. I thought they were waiting for a text or a call from a friend, but nothing ever happened. I heard people talking about how Daniel never actually smiled. They seemed emotionless until they were flinching. They is Daniel. Eventually, he calmed down, kept staring at their phone, his phone. We're just going to assume that. When we finally reached the college, my teacher told us our buddies would be the people on our bus with, or we sat on the bus with. I sighed and looked at Daniel. They were still looking down at their phone. I mentioned the buddy system, and all he did was nod. I'm going to just replace it myself. Our tour guide started showing us around the college, and he showed us normal things like classrooms and dorm buildings. After a while, I lost track of Daniel, and when no one was looking, I went to search for him. I finally found him at one point going into a dark classroom. I followed because if something happened to him, I might get in trouble for not keeping an eye on him. The room was pretty dark like I said before, but I noticed another door at the back of the classroom. Being the dumb teenager I was, I decided to check it out. It was a closet or something. Thinking it was a closet or something. It was actually a door leading to some stairs. I went downstairs and noticed writing on the walls. Scribbled on the walls were words like not alone and always watching. That's not scary already. When I finally reached the bottom, I felt uneasy, and Daniel was sitting in the middle of the room. The room itself was strange. It had walls that seemed like it was covered with tattered cloth or plastic. It smelled like dead fish, and again, there were words scribbled on the walls, some of which I could make out were the words not alone and always watching, like I saw before, but there were also strange ones as well, like a different language or code of some sort. Do you see it too? Daniel looked at me, and I was obviously confused. Was he talking about the walls? Was he talking about the puddles on the floor? You see the little girl? Alright, why is it always little girls? Not little boys, little girls. They're always the most terrifying. I was confused by what he meant until they pointed out the wall. It looked like something invisible was writing on the wall. No, more like ripping lines into the cloth-covered walls. I am dead was written, and a childlike giggle followed. That's when I dragged Daniel out of there because I was an idiot. Daniel and I had been friends ever since. I didn't remember that happening until a few days ago when Daniel reminded me about it. He told me that they did some research on college and found out it used to be a children's hospital. I will never forget the chilling child's laugh or the note she left. See, things like this terrify me. The possibility of something like this happening, because what do you do? What do you do? Like, my first reaction whenever I get scared, right? So I was asleep. My dad was picking up my phone because it was on the floor. I almost hit him. Like, I almost swung at him because I was asleep, and I just saw something hunched over. My immediate reaction is to fight, okay? Who do you fight when there's no one there? She scribbled on the walls. He didn't see a ghost. He didn't see an apparition. There's literally nothing but the words coming up on the walls. Who do you fight? Who do you run times with? Nobody. Nobody. You just gotta sit there and be like, damn, this is wild. He didn't sit there. He was smart. Man dipped. That's what I would have done. But that's not the wave. Not the wave. Seeing to it that I play a lot of video games, I glitched. Definitely something I want to check out. Pretty damn short. I woke up from a nap today. As I woke up, I sat straight up on my bed and fondled for a lighter so that I could have a smoke. I remember I left it outside in the car, so I threw on my slides and proceeded to walk down the stairs, through the kitchen and out the front door. I passed through the kitchen and seen some candy my daughter had from her daycare, a Snickers bar, pack of Skittles, and a few Starbursts. I grabbed the Skittles and put them in my pocket to enjoy them later. As I opened the front door, I immediately sat up in my bed. Wait, what? I immediately sat up in the bed. I felt lost for a second, thinking I was dreaming. I sat on the edge of the bed and checked my pockets to find a pack of Skittles. I glitched. Hey! Short and sweet. I like it. That's actually terrifying. Like, imagine not remembering the rest. Did he get up? Did he get the lighter? He should have added. Did you get the lighter? What? Imagine finding Skittles and something. Like, imagine not remembering part of the day. That's actually scary. Like, a lot of people say they imagine or they hope that they could just, clock in, forget that part of the day, and then clock out. No. At least not at my job. A lot of things happen where I work. I work at a gym. A lot of things happen. Random homeless people come in. I got cursed by one guy one time. He said I was going to die. I was like, oh, damn, it really be like that. But it's just, what do? You don't forget things. Or wait, what? You don't remember parts of your day. That's not the wave whatsoever. People, please read. Okay, well, please read. I don't have much time left. I guess, let's do it. Okay, good. These are all average size. I'm not going to be doing this for that much longer, though. I made this a long time ago. Criticism is welcome. Okay, so this isn't a real story. This is just a genuine fake story. I'm okay with that. So I'm an average high school student, 14. I got an assignment to find the world's population in 10 years from now. What does that even mean? I got an assignment to find the world's population in 10 years from now. I guess, like, how many people? That's what I'm going to go with. I stumbled across this website that said, find the world's population now. I looked at it and it said, add yourself to the list. Me being an idiot, I decided to sign up. I added my name, location, etc. Never add your name. Your name is okay. Your name is cool. There's a lot of people with your name. Never add your location. That's dumb. That's just dumb. When I finished, the website said exactly. We cannot add this person as he is dead. Chills went down my spine. I saw a button and said, how did he die? I decided to suppress it. It said, I got killed in a robbery tomorrow. I shrugged it off as if some stupid troll website. At school, everything was alright, but I got an emergency notification. No one else got one. It read, kid brutally stabbed in house robbery, 9:46 p.m. I immediately thought of the website and went to the library computer and searched the exact title and the exact website. Nothing. I got home as I usually do, and it was a note from my parents saying they were going to see my sister's ballet rehearsal. It is now 8:46. I was watching TV trying not to think of it until I heard a huge smash from the outside. I called 911. No one answered. Here I am calling everybody I can with nobody answering. It's now 9:20. I armed myself with anything I could have. I tried running out of the house, but the door is smashed shut and the windows won't break. I have no hope but to survive. If anybody is reading this now, please send help. That's okay. I read the last thing. This is a fake story. Please don't send the help. The police are scary. But that whole, aside from the top line and the bottom line, that's actually terrifying. That reminds me of the movie that's coming out. Not sponsored, obviously. I wish. Maybe. Panini comes out in that movie, so yeah, probably. I think it's called Countdown, where there's the app that tells you when you're gonna die, and people. I'm excited to see that movie. We're gonna do one more. No. Okay. I've seen a lot about Disneyland. I see a lot about... Oh, my God. Okay, yeah. This is going to be definitely the last one that I read. Okay. So, who knows? I might do some things like this more. We might do something with Reddit. I don't know. I was so excited to get a job at the happiest place on earth. I grew up in Orlando, so my mom took me rather frequently as I was a young lad. And I was excited I could take mine there for free from now on. Or for free from now on. I got a job as a night security guard. I just had to sit and watch cameras. The parks aren't always empty at night, and I just had to make sure nothing suspicious was going on. I was so thrilled. I didn't have to put up with what day shift guards did. They had to deal with drunk people in the Epcot, those feeling entitled because they spent thousands, etc. I remembered in training asking a guard if he'd seen anything weird. He told me on the Haunted Mansion ride, they seen a woman throw her daughter's ashes out. Damn. When they confronted her, she truly believed her daughter would be a happy haunt she would see every time she rode the ride. Let me stop now and tell you. You will get caught dumping ashes and won't be happy with what they do to your loved one's remains. Hey, that's kind of sad. Okay. The strangest thing I thought was Code 999, another Haunted Mansion reference. I was taught to use it if you see something odd, something unexplainable. We usually rotated what parks we would watch, sometimes certain hotels or even Disney Springs. I got Hollywood Studios last night. I love being able to patrol the grounds to see how Galaxy's Edge looks. I love how they added the Star Wars to the parks. Wait, what? I love how they added Star Wars to the parks, and I could see it away from the horde of tourists. I sat in my office watching cameras with my big mug of coffee they kept for us. And then things got stranger. I checked my watch and it was 3 a.m. The devil's hour. I don't know why for whatever reason, I feel like looking this way. The devil's hour. I watched a Mickey casually waltz down the street going towards Rock and Roller Coaster. We never have characters at this time. And plus, most people traveling were going to use the underground tunnels. I stared in disbelief as I seen Donald Duck walking casually, then Goofy, then Pluto, then multiple characters, all going towards that way. My walkie was pure static, and I mumbled, Code 999. Repeat, Code 999. This is Bill and AK. What's going on? Why are there characters in the park? All I heard was pure static. My gut told me to wait and just see what happens. Maybe more security comes. Maybe law enforcement. Maybe just let whatever is gonna happen. Let happen. But I figured I could go solo. Never go solo. My walkie wouldn't get a hold of any other guards in HS or anywhere. I snuck to a dressing room and found an old Olaf costume. I put it on and clumsily walked toward Rock and Roller Coaster. All the noise wasn't there, but where Fantasmic was. Typing this out feels so weird. It wasn't raining, but when I got near the commotion, it started lightning and rain smacked hard and fast. I glanced and seen characters fill the benches and seats around the area. On top of a large rock, there stood someone. I sat next to a Minnie. She turned to me and just stared. Didn't say any words, but just stared at me. She turned back and glanced to the stage. The intercom cut on. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here he is, Mickey Mouse. I watched as the characters began to bow and cheer. I tried to do the same so I wasn't noticed. I looked to my right side and a little girl stood next to me cheering. I think she's the ashes that were dumped. Okay. Hey everybody. Gee, thanks for coming. I'm sure you're glad to see you all. Now to business. We got this man here. What's your name, pal? A man tied to a table was carried in by more characters. Okay. That was Jerry. He was in training with me. He looked beaten up, bloodied. It doesn't matter your name actually, chuckled Mickey. Alright, gang, it's time we offer a new vessel to Walt to dwell in. Okay, Walt Disney. I think this man may be a good fit. He screamed while he was gagged. Mickey lifted a knife to the sky and stopped. He stared at everyone for what felt like an hour. He sniffed. One of you is an imposter. Who is it? Shit. Listen, pal. We need Walt more than ever and can't do this with you here. Characters shuffled around in confusion trying to find me. Then the ghost girl whispered to me, get out. I'm paralyzed in fear. This seems way too freaky. Then my walkie went off. 10-4, code 999, on way, double. I turn around expecting to be mailed by characters, but everyone's gone. I'm alone in the stands, except that Mickey on stage is now walking towards me fast, with his white gloves stretched towards me. His eyeballs are missing. I must have ran faster. I gotta find Jerry. He's gotta be here somewhere. Hey, that's actually kind of scary. Okay, so there's all... Okay, there's all these stories about things that go on in Disney parks and just, you know, in Disney anywhere. The Little World ride, what is it called? Hold on. It's a Small World. That's what it's called. Okay, it's a small world. There's so many stories about, and that's why this one is a really good story. Disney just in general is wild, but damn. Okay. Damn, that's actually wild. Okay, to think that things like this go on, to think that any of these stories that we read through can actually go on and probably do, that's terrifying. Hopefully not this one. Other ones, probably they happen at least one. I don't know if I'm recording a spooky video and I'm scared because of it, but this ain't the wave. I'm gonna stop dragging this video on. If you did like this video, want me to do something like it, I will. Just go ahead and let me know. Continuously branching out to other people, other content, just to see what it is that I like to do, and it might be everything. I don't know. I'm diverse. What's up, gang? No, that's not how we're gonna end it off. Oh, I'm a disappointment.